A triple murder in Brockville. A mother and her two teenage daughters found dead.
It's heartbreaking. They're a good family.
Police say the 17-year-old suspect was in a relationship with one of the victims. Home, sweet new build home.
Trying to be the first ones in here to hopefully get our home.
Government measures have made new home builds more affordable, and today potential buyers were lining up for single-family homes at a popular development in Kanata. And with the series tied at 1 game apiece, playoff hockey shifts back to the capital. It's Jocelyn Leroy.
It just makes my heart so happy to see them succeed like this.
Jackie is live at the CTC ahead of the Charge's first home playoff game tonight, and the energy, predictably, electric. Good evening. Residents in Brockville are reeling tonight as the investigation continues into a triple homicide. A mother and her two teenage daughters were found dead inside a home, and a 17-year-old is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. Police say the suspect was in a relationship with one of the young victims. The sisters and their mom were found in a home on Cartier Court in the city just west of Ottawa yesterday morning. CTV's Katelyn Wilson spent the day in Brockville and has the latest. Katelyn.
Yeah, Patricia, neighbors here say this apartment complex is a close-knit community. Some say they knew the victims well and are shaken by what happened.
It's heartbreaking. They were a good family. They really were good kids.
It's a loss many in this tight-knit community say is hard to process.
It's still unbelievable. I'm trying to get a hold of it. Just puts a bad feeling in your stomach.
A bouquet of flowers sits outside this apartment building in Brockville, where police say a 49-year-old woman and her 2 daughters, aged 15 and 17, were found dead. Police say officers were called to the building on Cartier Court around 11:30 Thursday morning.
Based on the evidence at the scene, the deaths were deemed as suspicious in nature. It is believed at this time that a knife was involved in the incident. However, investigators are still processing the scene to determine the totality of what took place. A 17-year-old boy is now charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder and also charged with assaulting a police officer. Police say he was arrested a couple of hours later around 1:30 at a property on the outskirts of the city. Investigators say the accused was in a relationship with one of the victims, but have not released additional details about what may have led to their deaths. It is an incident that's isolated. It's not a random attack. Okay, this is involved intimate partner violence with these individuals.
Tarek Kerr says he lived across the hall from the family for more than a decade and watched the girls grow up.
They're always heartwarming. You always saw them out on the balcony when they were playing or when they were outside. I saw them out in the hallways, coming back from school, so it was always heartbreaking.
Throughout the day, more flowers continued to appear, a tribute from a community struggling to come to terms with what happened.
I don't know. It's hard to believe.
The 17-year-old accused appeared in court for a bail hearing Friday. He remains in custody. Patricia?
And a reminder, the Distress Centre of Ottawa and region is available 24/7. You can call 613-238-3311. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the triple homicide in Brockville, and we'll have more as developments become available. You can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan that code on your screen using your smartphone. Public health officials are working on a process to bring 4 Canadians on board the Hantavirus-infected cruise ship home safely. They say another 6 Canadians may have been exposed on 2 separate flights and are being told to self-isolate. Meantime, we are learning new details about the 2 Ontario passengers who were on the ship and are back home under observation. The 2 residents are from the same household in Grey Bruce counties, which is north of London. CTV's Siobhan Morris reports.
Somewhere in the southwestern Ontario counties of Grey and Bruce, 2 people are hunkered down at home, isolating after an unforgettable cruise.
They're not cases, they're contacts from the ship. And I just want to assure everybody they have no symptoms at present.
Ontario's top doctor says 2 people from the same household are being monitored for 45 days. They arrived back in Ontario 2 weeks ago, getting daily calls from their local public health unit.
We'd ask them if they are developing any fever, malaise, muscle aches, joint aches, respiratory symptoms. symptoms.
These passengers were on dry land before the hantavirus outbreak was flagged. Even if they were exposed to someone with the virus,
it doesn't necessarily mean that you will, at 100% likelihood, get the infection. It all depends on the nature of the exposure, how susceptible you are to picking it up.
Dr. Moore understands the anxiety a lot of people are feeling with a global pandemic in our recent memory.
It's low risk for Ontarians, but we're prepared. We're monitoring this.
And unlike COVID-19, we're not dealing with a mystery virus, but one that's been well studied for 3 decades. There's expertise to draw on from nations used to dealing with hantavirus.
We know that it has very limited spread between humans. Argentina has shared with us their protocols, their policies, their recommendations.
Ontario is also taking Argentina's advice on how to care for the people in isolation if they do get sick. It involves limiting their contacts in the healthcare system to make sure infection doesn't spread. Siobhan Morris, CTV News, Toronto.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the outbreak of the Hantavirus on a cruise ship and that situation in Ontario. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel. Still ahead, treats and cuddles and lots of praise for this hero dog credited with alerting the family to a fire at their home. That story coming up. Well, taking a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 12 degrees in Ottawa right now. A big night in Ottawa as well as we get our first check on the forecast heading into the weekend. And Jackie, outside the Canadian Tire Centre where the Charge are getting set to play their first home playoff game, Jackie.
Take a look at this crowd. They are charged up. People are staying charged. Our town, our team, our year, and quite the night for it as well. Just an hour ago, it was cloudy. There were a little bit of rain moving through, but it has since cleared, so we've got clear skies for this evening as we head into the Canadian Tire Centre. Take a look at our forecast right now. Temperatures, still a little bit of cool weather, 12 degrees here in Ottawa, but we had some wind gusts moving through up to 40 kilometers per hour. Kingston sitting around 9 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. We got Petawawa at around 12 degrees, and as we look at temperatures for the overnight, we got 4 degrees, partly cloudy skies. The good news is that it's getting to 19 degrees tomorrow. Mainly sunny skies is anticipated, so it's going to be a beautiful day for our Saturday. Now, taking a look at the overnight into our long-term forecast, we'll get a closer look at this and more in just a bit. But Patricia, take a look at this wonderful crowd here tonight. I am loving this energy. It's Game 3, the series tied at 1-1. We will have more details from here at the Canadian Tire Centre and your weather forecast in just a bit.
They're so good with the signs, those fans. I love that. And as you saw, definitely electricity in the air tonight as they all get charged up for Game 3 on the road to the Walter Cup. Very special night in front of a big crowd at the Canadian Tire Centre. They're home away from home, if you will. And CTV's Tyler Fleming is also live outside the CTC. And he's got some screaming fans behind him, too. Tyler.
Sure do. Well, you heard from Jackie. This is a seriously charged crowd here, and there's tons of activities out front in the fan zone. There's face painting, they got that. You want a free mullet? They'll do that for you. There's a DJ, there's a thirsty peddler, there's all kinds of crazy activities. Thousands of people are going to be packing into the CTC, and that buzz is happening right across the city. Anne McIlroy is powering down Charge Avenue, preparing for one electric evening of playoff hockey.
I love this team.
A Day One supporter, she's excited to see the Ottawa Charge play at the Canadian Tire Centre.
I love Lansdowne. It has a really special spirit, but you can see the feeling that they express just in the way they look around in their bodies, that they're playing for this giant crowd in this giant arena.
You're gonna come join us for some happy hour tonight?
Yeah, we might just do that.
Sounds good.
And Craft Beer Market has 2 packed shuttle buses bringing fans to and from Bank Street.
We have a lot of close fans that come here pre-game, come here post-game, but we still have a full house. You know, the community's here, they're showing up. And they're proud to do it.
You've got it all signed?
I do got it all signed.
Oh, that's great.
With more than 20 TVs, there's no bad seats. And while you're here, why not pour on the cheer with Emily Clark's Raspberry Wheat Ale from Broadhead Brewery?
The players would always come over, so I've always taken care of them. So they got me a jersey. And
General Manager Jordan Cruz expects restaurants around the city to be packed.
And it's been great for the business around here.
With the series tied 1-1 and in a best of 5,
A Game 3 win could be a turning point for the Charge in search of their first Walter Cup.
We get so much motivation and lift from our fan base and the crowd, and they motivate us and help us play better. So, you know, the idea that we'd have, 15,000 plus people in the arena supporting us, cheering us on, it makes a huge difference. So the players are super excited.
As someone who's watched women's sports over the years not get the same kind of attention as men's sports, it just makes my heart so happy to see them succeed like this.
You hear that, Patricia? Now, the last time the Charge played at the Canadian Tire Centre, they set a franchise record for attendance, more than 17,000 fans. And you know what? By the looks of it, and definitely by the sounds of it, it is going to hopefully be broken tonight. Next game is Sunday at 3 p.m. Look at this. This is going to be amazing. Go, Charge, go! Charge, go!
What it's all about, looks like it will be a blast tonight. Thank you to Tyler. Thank you to the fans. We'll get more from the CTC coming up in just a little bit. Well, people are camping out in Kanata in a quest to buy a new home. The lineup forming as Minto gets set to put several new construction homes up for sale this weekend. CTV's Kimberley Johnson joins us in studio to tell us why, Kimberley.
Patricia, a limited number of single-family homes in the popular new West End community has people not taking any chances and camping out to get the home they need. And experts say a newly extended home tax rebate by the government could be boosting interest and have people eyeing a move.
We have sleeping bags, we have pillows, we can just sit inside there at nighttime.
Blaze Cameron has been living in a tent the last few days in the hopes of getting a new house.
I'm here for family. They've been trying to get a new house because their family's slowly getting bigger.
Cameron and more than a dozen others are camping out outside the Minto Sales Centre in Kanata. On Saturday, Minto will put 30 new build homes up for sale. The first in line, Cameron says it's so his aunt and uncle can move from their current home and into one of the larger single-family homes.
We're just here taking shifts off and on, trying to get our best in and, trying to be the first ones in here to hopefully get our home.
One realtor says for many people, the drive to get into a bigger single-family home has them not taking any chances in an in-demand neighborhood.
A lot of that demand that we're seeing is likely for those single-family homes.
Price points at the Minto development start at $575,000 for a townhome and $775,000 for a single family. Real estate agents say the one-year HST rebate for new builds in Ontario is providing a boost to the market.
What we're seeing here today is, in my opinion, a direct response to affordability improving. For many families and people who have been on the sidelines, this is the opportunity that they've been waiting for.
We have to stay here throughout 3 days. Whole day, you cannot leave the spot, so we have our own bed there.
Matias Suarez is taking the day shift and says his dad takes the night to get into their family's preferred duplex. When he arrived, he says he was surprised to find people ahead of him.
They were way more ready than us.
Sticking it out night after night to get the dream home.
It's pretty rough, especially in the mornings. It's pretty cold, but we're all here together. We're all helping each other.
The tax break means that for the next year, home buyers can get a rebate of up to $130,000 on a home worth up to $1 million. That's on all new home builds. Minto admits the recently announced rebate is playing a part in the lineup for the new home, but the builders note that a lot of interest existed in Ontario and before Ontario and the federal government extended the rebate. Patricia.
Yeah, if you were interested before that rebate expansion, then you're camping out with $130,000 off $1 million price tag. Kimberley, thank you very much. CTV's Kimberley Johnson live for us tonight. Well, it was a cold April for the Canadian economy as it lost 18,000 jobs. Stats Canada says the unemployment rate rose to 6.6% last month, a 6-month high. The latest report says the labor market showed continuing weakness in the face of U.S. tariffs and trade uncertainty. The unemployment rate increased the most among youth aged 15 to 24 and among men aged 25 to 54. Ottawa's unemployment rate increased 0.1% to 6.2% last month. According to Statistics Canada, Ottawa's economy added 9,000 more jobs in April, but more people were looking for work. Well, new details tonight on plans to cut dozens of non-teaching positions at the Ottawa Carleton District School Board. The public board said this week that 69 unionized positions will be cut as of August 31st. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation says it has been informed that 34 members of the planned support staff unit will be cut. As well, 48 full-time central staff positions will be eliminated, including office, clerical, and technical workers. Ontario is helping to upgrade water infrastructure for homes in Lanark and Frontenac counties.
Our government is investing more than $14 million to upgrade water main and sewer infrastructure right here in Smith Falls to improve service for homes in the community and support the rehabilitation and expansion of the stormwater management system. I want to thank everyone that takes care of this great facility.
Premier Doug Ford was in Smith Falls this morning to announce new funding. North Frontenac will get $1 million for stormwater repairs in Plevna. Toronto police say a Vaughan man is facing charges after an incident outside a North York synagogue. Police say 3 people were shot at with a replica firearm outside the synagogue around 11 o'clock last night. 1 person was struck and sustained minor injuries. Police say the man is facing charges in connection with 2 separate incidents. The U.S. ambassador to Canada was slated to speak here in Ottawa today, but Pete Hoekstra had to cancel about an hour before his scheduled appearance after being called to Washington. Hoekstra was scheduled to participate in a fireside chat at the Conservative Canada Strong and Free Network conference, but organizers say the ambassador was called to Washington for urgent meetings. The U.S. Embassy says he has important meetings with senior officials at the White House. It would not say whether those meetings were related to CUSMA negotiations. There's been another major legal setback for President Donald Trump and his tariff war against the world. A U.S. court has ruled that Trump violated the law when he imposed a new 10% tariff on most countries back in February. The Court of International Trade found that Trump wrongly used a decades-old law when he applied the duties. That 10% tariff was imposed after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down his previous set of sweeping tariffs on nearly all U.S. trading partners. In another major setback to his trade war strategy, it is not clear what happens next. Well, the off-duty Ottawa firefighter that came to the aid of a pedestrian struck by a vehicle in downtown Ottawa last week has been honored in the House of Commons.
Austin is healing today thanks to the swift and heroic action of an off-duty Ottawa firefighter, Jason Murray. I encourage all Canadians to learn first aid because one day you may be the person in the right place at the right time.
Carleton MP Bruce Fanjoy saluted Jason Murray this morning for his swift actions. Fanjoy said Austin Pierce was struck by a vehicle at the intersection of Laurier Avenue and O'Connor Street last Friday. The victim continues to recover from his injuries. The Canadian Tulip Festival is back for another year with dazzling displays of spring colors blooming at Commissioners Park and Dow's Lake. The event kicked off with a Dutch royal visit to celebrate the decades-long friendship between the Netherlands and Canada. CTV's Kimberley Fowler was at City Hall where the festivities started. Joins us with more, Kimberley.
Well, Patricia, Princess Marguerite of the Netherlands, also known as Ottawa's princess, is in town to mark the opening of the Canadian Tulip Festival. The 83-year-old princess and her husband were greeted by Mayor Mark Sutcliffe at City Hall. The princess signed the City of Ottawa guest book, met with elected officials, and also had a private meeting with the mayor. Princess Marguerite has a special connection with the capital as she was born at the Ottawa Civic Hospital in 1943 while the Dutch royal family was living here in exile during the war. She spoke with CTV's Michael Couture on today's Power Play on the importance of commemorating the bond between our two nations.
I've always tried to keep the memory alive of what Canadian armed forces have done to liberate the Netherlands. And we have always tried also to pay tribute to the veterans.
In 1945, the National Capital Commission planted the first tulip beds with bulbs gifted from the Netherlands in recognition for Canada's role to help liberate the country during the Second World War. And the princess's visit this year also coincides with the city's 200th anniversary celebrations, with many visitors flocking to the capital for the annual Canadian Tulip Festival.
They're absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Awesome.
I love the different colors. 51 years ago, we had started dating, and we lived a couple hours south in New York. And he said, let's go see the Tulip Festival in Ottawa. And there were no GPS, no cell phones. So we came up and drove around. We never found it. So we've never been. So 51 years later, we're getting to see tulips today.
Much nicer than I was expecting it to for this time of the year, since today is like the first day.
I was impressed by the amount of blooms out.
It's really beautiful and it's a sunny day, so it's really nice.
The Canadian Tulip Festival runs until May 19th with nearly 1 million tulips blooming all across the capital. During her visit, the Princess met with Prime Minister Mark Carney yesterday and will attend the grand opening of the Tulip Festival tomorrow. And on Monday, she will visit the Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus, where she was born, to deliver tulips to the staff. Patricia.
It is a really special friendship, for sure, between our two countries. And Kimberley, orange, you glad you wore orange today?
Sure am.
CTV's Kimberley Fowler live for us tonight. Thanks so much. Well, if you are heading to Tulip Festival this weekend at Dow's Lake, you can check the parking signs. Yes, no stopping signs have been installed, and parking restrictions are in place around Little Italy to help keep traffic moving during the 11-day festival. Extra bylaw services officers will also be deployed on residential streets. Last year, 1,400 parking tickets were issued during the Tulip Festival. A heads up for motorists in Ottawa's West End. A busy on-ramp is closing for nearly 3 months starting Saturday. The City of Ottawa says the eastbound on-ramp from southbound Pinecrest Road to Highway 417 will be closed starting Saturday. The on-ramp is expected to reopen on July 28th. The closure is to accommodate construction on the O-Train extension. A big night for sports fans. Thousands of fans are at Canadian Tire Centre for the Charge, as you saw, and a record-breaking crowd will be outside watching baseball tonight. Yes, this is a live look now at the Ottawa Baseball Stadium, where the Titans are getting set for their home opener. A sold-out crowd of more than 10,000 fans will be at the game. That's the first sellout since 2002. Ottawa hosts Quebec City for a 3-game series this weekend. The first 5,000 fans through the door getting a free Titans jersey.
Shady got us out with minutes to spare.
Well, coming up, meet the dog who has earned extra treats after alerting their owners to an overnight fire. And a live look now at the Queensway. Temperature is 11 degrees in Ottawa. Remember, you can see our traffic cameras live on our website anytime, ottawa.ctvnews.ca. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Electric Avenue up and running here at the Canadian Tire Centre. Got some fans here very quickly. Shannon, just talk to me about who we're cheering for tonight and these helmets.
Music, Katarova! Woo!
One of the many players. What is your favorite thing about her?
Her tenacity. She is ferocious. She's not afraid to get out there on the ice and get her hands in, and she's not afraid when she gets hit. She gets down and she gets right back up and keeps going at it. She's an amazing hockey player.
Thank you so much. You guys all charged up? Yeah. All right. We are going to go to commercial break, but we'll have more here from the Canadian Tire Centre in just a bit.
Mostly light on the Friday drive home, unless you're headed towards the CTC, then a little heavier traffic heading westbound. Well, a Greeley couple is crediting their dog with alerting them to a fire in the middle of the night. They were sleeping and say their dog growling got them up to see what was going on, giving them the time they needed to call 911 and get out. The fire broke out at the home on Stanmore Street just after midnight on Monday overnight. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
Jennifer Phillip took this video as firefighters worked to save her house in Greeley earlier this week.
From the time that it was just the shed to the whole, roof on fire, it was just minutes.
Phillip and her husband were sleeping when just after midnight Monday, their dog Shady started to growl and bark.
He woke us up when the shed was in flames. And so he had heard, I guess, like some, crackling or whatever noise from the shed.
It quickly spread to their house.
We grabbed our fire extinguisher, but it was way too out of control at that point. Ran out of the house in a house coat with no shoes on. And as we stood on the street, within a minute, the house filled with smoke. So, Shady got us out with minutes to spare.
The fire was in an area of the city with no hydrants, so firefighters had to use tanker trucks to bring water to the scene.
A lot of homes now are built with siding, which goes up extremely fast. It's like liquid gasoline. So you want to remember not to keep anything flammable near the siding of the house.
Ottawa Fire stressing the importance of smoke alarms and having an escape plan, adding you only have about 3 minutes to get out.
When the fire starts on the outside, by the time it gets onto the inside, it's going to leave you even less time to get out of the home.
I had a painting that I was doing of Shady and I, and they had taken that and put it on my desk and under a tarp before they had released all the water from the ceiling, and we really appreciate the care they took.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. The couple expects to be out of the house at least 6 months.
Good boy.
As for Shady, he's getting even more love this week.
I don't think it's possible to spoil him anymore, but he has gotten even more treats this week.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
Never too many treats. That's awesome. Well, it was a cloudy and cool start to the Tulip Festival here in Ottawa today. The tulips are in bloom at Dow's Lake for the opening day of the Canadian Tulip Festival. And the good news is, as we head into a big weekend at the Tulip Festival, there is some sunshine in the forecast heading into tomorrow, Jackie.
That's right, Patricia. We're already starting to see a little bit of the sunshine to my right, but when I look to my left, there are a little bit of those dark gray clouds moving through. There is still a slight chance we could see some showers moving through fairly quickly, and it was scattered throughout this afternoon, but it should clear out by the time the next 2 hours roll around. Right now, though, 11 degrees. Those winds really picking up about 40 kilometers per hour in some parts of Ottawa, but it is expected to taper down by the time we get to the late evening. Tonight's low is about 3 degrees for here, as well as Cornwall, 2 degrees along the Seaway, still hovering around the freezing mark when we look towards Bancroft and Trenton, about 0 in Mont-Tremblant as well, but 5 degrees in Montreal. Now, tomorrow's daytime highs, yes, there's no precipitation in sight, mainly sunny skies for much of eastern Ontario. Temperatures, the good news, hovering between 17 and 19 degrees. As we look to Canada right now, it's 10 degrees in Halifax, some precipitation rolling through as well, 12 degrees in Fredericton. Is that cold air moving through around Timmins? It's 6 degrees, but there is a warm-up that is moving through. Thunder Bay sitting around 12 degrees, and all that yellow coming from the States, you could feel that in places like Calgary at 20 degrees, Edmonton 18 in sunshine, and you've got Regina with a little bit of the risk of thunderstorms moving through, 17, 18 in Saskatchewan. Now Vancouver sitting around 16 degrees. As we can look here, we are anticipating a little bit of weather activity moving through the valley around 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. So if you are on and about, keep an eye on this. It shouldn't quite hit Ottawa. It is actually going to clear out just north of it. By the time Sunday rolls around, it's going to be mainly sunny skies and fairly clear skies as well as we get to Sunday afternoon. Now, temperature-wise, this is the good news. We are starting to warm up. The 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. A mainly sunny day for our Saturday. Chance of showers for Sunday, 14 degrees, the anticipated daytime high. This temperature will continue until Tuesday. We'll take a look at Wednesday, 17 degrees, sun and cloud, and by Friday, fingers crossed, that temperature stays at 21 degrees. Searching for a gift that will brighten Mom's world? Well, we have your chance to make your mom's moment extra special this Mother's Day. Whether it's personalized gems, a diamond bracelet, or the perfect pendant to wear close to her heart, every mom deserves some sparkle in her life. All you have to do is submit a photo of you and your mom at ctvottawa.ca to be entered into the grand prize draw of a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamonds Center. Wishing you the best of luck. All right, we are about half an hour away from puck drop here at the Canadian Tire Center. We have fans lined up and ready to go as well, and they are getting their faces painted, as Tyler Fleming mentioned earlier. They've got free mullet buzz cuts moving through. We had a DJ as well, so there's lots of action here, and we're really excited to talk some fans in a little bit. Back to you, Patricia.
All right, good stuff, Jackie. Looks like a blast. Thank you. Well, coming up, police hoping to avoid causing a stink with a daring rescue in Colorado. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. Test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca. In tonight's big picture, a reminder from police that littering stinks. Police in Parker, Colorado posted this video of a skunk wandering around with a cup stuck on its head. After a few careful attempts with a catch pole, the officer made a bold call and removed the cup by hand. Police say the skunk then waddled off unharmed and without registering a stinky complaint. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now, starting with a record-breaking opening night for the Ottawa Titans. This is a live look now at the Ottawa Baseball Stadium, where the Titans open up a 3-game series with Quebec tonight. More than 10,000 fans expected to attend the game. This is the highest single-game attendance at the stadium since 2002. That looks really good. The series continues at 6 p.m. Saturday and 1 p.m. on Sunday. Well, Ottawa motorists are finding some relief at the gas pumps heading into the weekend. Gas prices dropped 7 cents a litre this morning to an average of $1.85. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Anne McIlroy told News Talk 580 CFRA's Morning Rush prices should increase 1 or 2 cents a litre on Sunday, but he warns a supply crunch could cause prices to jump above $2 a litre in the weeks ahead. If you are driving this weekend, Ontario Provincial Police are reminding you not to speed or drive solo in the high-occupancy vehicle lane. Police say an officer spotted this vehicle traveling 156 kilometers an hour in the HOV lane on Highway 417 this morning. The driver was charged with stunt driving, which includes a 30-day license suspension and the vehicle impounded for 14 days.
Winner!
More than $80 million in prizes on the line in tonight's Lotto Max draw. The jackpot is $70 million plus 10 Max Millions prizes worth $1 million each. There will also be 70 prizes of $100,000. The deadline to buy a ticket is 10:30 tonight.
For us, it's a real time of celebrating connection and togetherness and joy and hope, especially after the long winter we had.
And you don't have to travel downtown to see tulips this spring. Tulip Fest is underway at Saunders Farm. This is a new spring festival to mark the 50th anniversary season at Saunders.
My eyes would be crusted right over, and they would be red. I would have to put on sunglasses.
Well, coming up, a warning about getting ink leading to possible eyesight issues. W5 investigates tattoos and vision loss.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
We are just over 20 minutes away from puck drop at Canadian Tire Centre as the Charge host the Boston Fleet for Game 3 of their first-round playoff series. Let's go back to Jackie out front. Jackie, people starting to go in, but still some excitement outside the Canadian Tire Centre.
Still excitement. We've had people waiting in line to get their faces painted. We already have one lucky person who got their face painted. But we were also here earlier for the red carpet, Electric Avenue Alive and Well. Rebecca Leslie was out today. It is actually her birthday today. We have a fellow Rebecca here.
Another Rebecca, yeah.
Do you have any wishes for Rebecca Leslie tonight?
Oh, how is she going to spend her birthday?
Maybe on ice. That's
Maybe on ice,
right?
absolutely.
Yes. So again, Rebecca Leslie on the red carpet. There were signs that was wishing her a great happy birthday. Somebody even told me that they wanted to bring a cake and they bought it, but then they forgot it at home. So I think they just wanted to keep it as well. I also want to bring in a fellow Emily Clark fan. Emily Clark was also walking that red carpet. Why is Emily Clark your player? You have the jersey on.
Saskatchewan, she's the best. Yes. That's all you need to know.
Saskatoon. That's right. So are you from Saskatchewan?
No,
is that why?
Ottawa.
Okay, then what is the appeal here?
She just works really hard. That's what this team's all about.
And what I love is that she's made this place a home.
Absolutely.
Very much like a lot of these players. How excited are we? The series is tied 1-1.
So excited. So excited. Yeah. It's our first playoff game ever.
And it's here at the Canadian Tire Centre. Okay, and very quickly, show me what's around your face here. What's your inspiration? The Ottawa Charge?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Do you have a cheer for us? We could all do it together with everyone, all right? We're going to say go, Charge, go in 3, okay? In 3, 2, 1. Go, Charge, go!
Go, Charge, go! Go, Charge, go!
So lots of energy here at the Canadian Tire Centre. We are moments away from puck drop tonight. Series tied with Boston 1-1. The results will be in a couple of hours. Patricia.
Jackie, you and everyone else in playoff form tonight. You got the cheer right, even though you were at the Canadian Tire Centre. I love it. Thanks so much, Jackie. Well, a W5 investigation has found that a growing number of Canadians appear to have vision problems connected to their tattoos. The rare and painful condition can sometimes lead to vision loss. Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
I went to school and I was like, guys, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm so excited.
Alicia Thompson of Oshawa was 15 when she got her first tattoo, and over the years, she's added many more.
After that, it was a snowball effect. I just kept getting more and more tattoos.
In her early 20s, she noticed her tattoos would become inflamed and painful. Then she started to develop eyesight issues.
My eyes would be crusted right over, and they would be red. I would have to put on sunglasses.
Thompson was diagnosed with tattoo-associated uveitis. Her immune system was reacting to the tattoo ink, causing eye pain, light sensitivity, and vision loss.
I have no vision in my center vision in my right eye.
My wrist here, some symbols.
Zachary Adamkowski-Sissons of Thunder Bay has tattoos and says when he was 20 years old, he developed eyesight problems.
I started having issues with my right eye. It started to become red and inflamed. It became a little pussy. I couldn't open it.
He also has tattoo-associated uveitis and requires ongoing treatment.
I can't get more tattoos.
About 1/3 of Canadians have at least one tattoo. That's more than 13 million people. Researchers say if you have a tattoo, you should not be alarmed by the study, saying tattoo-related vision loss is extremely rare. But a recent Australian study suggests the condition can't be ignored. We spoke with Dr. Josephine Richards in Australia, who was part of the research. She was shocked that 40 cases of tattoo-associated uveitis were identified there and says other healthcare professionals need to be aware of it.
If they know about it, then they can look it up and they will see that it is quite a serious problem.
I read about it, but my first patient was over 10 years ago.
Dr. Nupra Bakshi is a uveitis specialist at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto. She says while the condition is rare, more cases are showing up in Canada, and there are signs to watch out for.
The tattoo is raised, the tattoo is swollen, there's bumps around the tattoo, and they also have inflammation inside their eye.
There are some concerns about the type of tattoo ink being used. According to Health Canada, tattoo inks are subject to Health Canada's cosmetic regulations. Under the Food and Drugs Act, it is the responsibility of the manufacturer or importer to ensure the product they are selling is safe.
I think the main thing to keep in mind is have your tattoo at a reputed salon with, an artist of good reputation. If possible, perhaps find out what pigments are used just so that you have that for your own records.
Dr. Bakshi says researchers here plan to compile their own data on the number of Canadians with the condition.
Even just speaking with other colleagues in Toronto, between us, we have over 10 to 15 cases just within our city.
Thompson agrees more study is needed and wants answers.
So I feel like there does need to be more research so that people are more informed on what kind of ingredients are being used inside of the tattoo ink.
Pat Foran, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, a look at the business headlines to wrap up a busy week on the markets.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
That Friday feeling as we check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Kicking it off today with the Gloucester Horticultural Society annual fundraising plant sale. This is for the gardeners, both amateur and experienced. Shop for perennials, houseplants, vegetables, and lots more. You can also browse and shop for garden goods and get expert advice from master gardeners. This is tomorrow from 9 to 12 at Orleans Fruit Farm. Admission is free and parking is free too. Next up today is the Indigenous Culture and Art Fundraiser. This features music, drumming, and even a local vendor market, all in support of the Art for Aid project that puts art supplies in the hands of Indigenous youth across Canada. This is tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. at Zion Memorial United Church in Carleton Place. Last on the list today is the Glow of Love Mother's Day Market and concert in support of CHIO. Browse handmade gifts from dozens of local vendors featuring handmade goods, gifts, wellness items, art, and more. Plus, check out loads of live performances. It's tomorrow at the Harold Shankman Hall, and admission is free. As usual, lots more happening this weekend around the capital. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, the unemployment rate moved up in April to 6.9%. Canada lost close to 18,000 jobs. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
Close to 48,000 full-time jobs were lost last month, offset by about 29,000 part-time jobs gained. There were also more people looking for work in April than there were in March. That's one reason the unemployment rate moved up to 6.9%. But the rate for younger Canadians, 15 to 24, is twice that, above 14%. Employment fell in Quebec but rose in Ontario. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.08. West Texas Intermediate up 61 cents to 95.42. Western Canadian Select is barely changed at 74.45, and the TSX gained 221 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Well, coming up, biking and rolling into summer on the parkways. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. If you didn't see it, yes, free mullets. It's the playoff mullet. Sarah, talk to me about this. You guys had it last year at Electron Avenue as well.
Yeah, we did, and I just think hair and hockey is an iconic combination, and we're a bunch of female barbers, so just women in male-dominated industries. I just thought it was a perfect partnership.
Love it. Thank you so much. We've seen so many people come out and get their hair all whipped up for the playoffs. And speaking of wonderful weather in this wonderful wind, as well as today, it is windy today. Here's a live look through our Centennial Class Sky Cam. It is about 12 degrees right now, but it's feeling much colder with those heavy winds moving through as well. So we'll have more after the break on your long-term and weekend forecast.
Monday on Your Morning Ottawa, what do you need to know as officials around the world work to contain a deadly Hantavirus outbreak? Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV on your Friday night. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Celebrity Jeopardy, Happy's Place, Children Ruin Everything, and Boston Blue. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
Around 11:30 a.m., police responded to a 911 call reporting the deaths of 3 individuals at a residence here on Cartier Court.
The community of Brockville reeling tonight following a triple murder in the city. The bodies of a mother and her 2 daughters were found at a home yesterday morning. A 17-year-old suspect is facing murder charges.
You have a long stretch where nothing happens. Your initial symptoms seem very minor and nonspecific, and it's only later that the serious stuff happens.
Epidemiologists warning that the long incubation period for hantavirus will pose challenges when it comes to monitoring passengers who were on the affected cruise ship.
You have to stay here throughout 3 days. Whole day, you cannot leave the spot, so we have our own bed there.
And quite a number of people lining up to be first to buy a new home at a Minto development in Kanata. One final check on the forecast now. Back out to the CTC where Jackie is standing by. Jackie. And unfortunately, we've lost our audio connection with Jackie. All that electricity in the air in front of the CTC. You're going to wake up to 6 degrees in the sunshine tomorrow. Just a light breeze compared to the wind that we saw today. And here's how things look for the rest of the weekend. Tomorrow will be the best day. 19 degrees, mainly sunny, maybe a little early Mother's Day celebration outside tomorrow. Or if you're visiting the Tulips on Sunday, 14 degrees with a chance of showers. So a little cooler, and the temperatures will stay into the lower mid-teens for Monday and Tuesday, but jumping back up Wednesday and Thursday. Well, finally for us tonight, the NCC is opening up the parkways to runners, cyclists, and rollerbladers again this summer. This is the first weekend for the NCC Weekend Bike Days. Queen Elizabeth Driveway, the Sir Georges Etienne Cartier Parkway, and the Kitchie-Zibi-Macon were to be closed to vehicles on Saturdays and Sundays this summer. That's always fun. And I'll tell you, we have a big sports night in Ottawa. Not just the Charge, but baseball as well. This is one of the reasons why thousands of people packing into Ottawa Baseball Stadium tonight, because these lovely jerseys were given out to the first 5,000 people through the doors. As we take a live look at the Ottawa Baseball Stadium, it is indeed a sold-out crowd watching the Titans home opener there as they take on Quebec in this one. Couple more games on the weekend. If you didn't get in there tonight, they are playing again on Saturday and Sunday. And a live look at the Canadian Tire Centre, where the Charge host the Boston Fleet in Game 3 of their first-round PWHL playoff series. Series tied at 1 game apiece. Sunday afternoon is Game 4. A big weekend all around, and the Tulips will be the stars of the show at the Tulip Festival. They are in perfect bloom after some cooler weather, just in time to welcome crowds here in Ottawa. It will be busy out there both Saturday and Sunday, but the Tulip Festival does run for 11 days, so you have a chance next weekend as well, the long weekend, to take them in. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Steph will be here on the desk at 11:30.